Back live on the streets of Long Beach, Mark DeVellis climbs into the safety vehicle after a tough break. A collision down in turn one after Ryan Dial spun and he was hit. Was DeVellis by Luis Diaz, who was following. We'll take a closer look at what happened, and DeVellis may not be the only casualty. First, here's another look, Brian.
You see Macri and Dial side by side. Dial spins, sitting there dead in the water. He obviously wants to get out of the way. He gets the car back underway. Oh, there's the contact. Yep. That's what got Dial's right rear and obviously DeVellis's right front. Obviously, Dial wants to get out of the way. I mean, he's a sitting duck in the middle, but DeVellis comes in, commits to going around the outside just about the time that Ryan starts to move. You saw DeVellis lock up that left front brake, and when you do, you don't have any steering. Here's an onboard from Diaz. Luis very lucky. We thought he had damage to that right front tire because you see that wheel turned in a lot, but that's just the Ackerman steering there. And
here's the continuing story with Calvin.
Well, Ryan Dial has made his way back to the pit lane. Ryan, car is broken, so you're out of the race. What happened down there with you and Jonathan?
Between me and Jonathan, wasn't really much happened. We both kind of got together, and I ended up spinning around. The damage to the car came after that. Somebody came into the side of me, outbroke themselves, and ended up hitting me, kind of stranded. So a shame because we had a good car in the race, and it's a shame it should have ended this way.
Well, a tough break for the young Scotsman. He certainly has been on a roll here. He's had 3 top 4 finishes stemming off the end of last year, Bob. And change of engineer here this weekend. Kyle Brandt has moved over to his car, and he was just pipped for the pole by A.J. Allmendinger. He certainly thought he'd have a strong race car today.
We expect the green this time by, and we'll be back underway. No sign of the cars at the head of the Shoreline Drive straightaway yet. Boy, it didn't take much of contact there to ruin Ryan Dial's day. His 4th in the season opener in Monterey was his 3rd straight top 4 finish going back to last season, but that streak is now broken. Here you see the field making its way around. This is turn 9 on board with this is Danica Patrick's car. Luis Diaz is still out there despite that contact. He has not pitted, and we are back under green.
And look at the gap that Allmendinger had coming off of the hairpin. We talked about being good on cold tires. He snookered the entire field at the hairpin and got about 6 or 8 car lengths over his teammate Aaron Justice. And once again, as good as he is on cold tires, that is a huge benefit out the back of Danica Patrick's car. You see Joey Hand
now up to 7th.
Joey Hand knows how to play this game. It is a season-long deal. There have been 5 years since 1990 that the guy who's won the fewest races wins this championship. It's about consistency. Joey Hand knows he needs to get points. He'll be patient. He'll move his way up. If he can win this thing, he will. If he finishes 5th, he finishes 5th. But he'll take the points. He's smart. He knows it's the collection at the end that wins the championship.
You're not going to make them all up in one race. As you look back to the car of Danica Patrick,
Diaz on his way back up. You saw him trying to gain position that he had lost there in that incident.
Turn 9 off Seaside Way.
Taking a look at Danica through there. She's had problems all weekend long with his car, as Calvin had alluded to earlier. And one of the things I noticed in watching the in-car footage from Saturday morning's practice was that they struggled. She was on the radio literally the entire lap around, talking to the crew. She made bar changes, she made brake bias changes, trying to get that car to work, and they've struggled with it. It's not been to her liking, so she's got to hold on to it now and just race it the best that she can.
Well, look at those gaps already. Allmendinger has lit the afterburner once again. Diaz picking up another spot, going around Alex Garcia.
Luis Diaz is another one of these guys that wants this race over with. Long Beach has not been good to him. At the beginning of last year, at the start of the race, he had a car basically sitting on his head at turn 1 at the start of the race. So he wants to collect points and get out of here onto a happier place. Monterey was not good to him last year, nor was Long Beach. He won 2 races, but let's get these first 2 out of the way, is what Luis has said.
Patrick and Hand continue their battle to Calvin Fish.
Well, down here with the DSTP crew, Kent, you made a big move last night, moving to the backup car. Perfect scenario of caught a caution. Do you have a fast enough race car, though?
I don't think we have a fast enough race car to win this thing. You know, we're just going to try to collect some points here. We're a bit behind on time, you know, just starting this car this morning. The car's better, but we're still struggling a little bit. He's just trying to move the bars around and get the car good. And see if he can just move forward.
Mate, good luck. I think you could see there that Joey is on the radio too, Kent, during that interview, trying to work on the setup, trying to get a bit better with what he has available inside the cockpit.
Leading lap number 11 of 32 scheduled. We're also subject to a 50-minute time limit, so we don't want too many full course cautions.
The other person that doesn't want too many full course cautions is A.J. Allmendinger. He is trying to check out away from his teammate.
He's already back in the 1 minute 17 second zone. He was the only guy to go that fast before the yellow came out.
Absolutely. You've got Justice Macri and Valiente, even Figge, that are running pretty much the same times, but A.J. Allmendinger has been able to knock off some lap times that are well over half a second faster than the guys in second, third, and fourth. He is putting down the laps here, and he wants to see this thing stay caution-free.
And a tenth slower than Patrick, with whom you ride last time by. So look at how those wings are laid flat.
Yeah, they've gone for very little downforce. You know, the turns here at Long Beach are not that fast, and so you trim the car out, you take wing out of it to try to reduce drag so the car gets down the straightaway quickly, and you've got to have that straight line speed.
A.J. Allmendinger collided with Luis Diaz in the season opener at Monterey. He'd like to make amends for it today, and he leads. Welcome back live to the streets of Long Beach, California at round 2 of the Toyota Atlantic Championship for 2003, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. I'm Bob Varsha with Brian Till and Calvin Fish. There is your leader, A.J. Allmendinger, whose gap over teammate Aaron Justice is out to nearly 2.5 seconds. To Calvin Fish.
Well, he's got a new man on his headset this weekend. Is Burke Harrison, formerly with Doricart Racing. Burke, great restart for A.J. You talk about a guy's ability on cold tires. A.J. seems to have it.
Yeah, he has enormous raw talent, which I'm learning quickly here. And our job here at Roo Sports is just to give him a tool so it's easier for him. I mean, so far so good. It's not over yet, but hopefully it'll end like this.
Burke is a very calming influence for this young Charger on the radio headset, and he's had success here before, winning in Indy Lights with Paul Tracy and Eric Bechelot, Bob.
And another guy who's had success is the man he was talking about, A.J. Allmendinger, who is the epitome of what the ladder system in kart is all about. He's a 2-time karting Grand National champion, the 01 Barber National runner-up to Julio Campos. Then he won the Barber Dodge Pro Series championship, and here he is leading the way in the Toyota Atlantic Championship. There's his teammate Aaron Justice, another guy with a long history of karting championships, go-karts that is, leading to the higher classes.
And Aaron certainly knows how to win races, but look at the front wing on that car on the left side from Aaron's point of view, the right side from our point of view, looking at the car right there. That second element is a little askew, it looks like, and I don't know how it got there.
But look at Macri there, closing up in third.
But aerodynamics on these cars are so important. In addition to adding downforce, they add drag, and they also affect the airflow through the tunnels on these cars.
See Joey Hand going out of your picture. The next battle is Law and Diaz. As Diaz continues to move up wheel to wheel at 9.
Side by side, I think that's Alex Figge in front of him as they come through the horseshoe and get ready to come onto the hairpin. Through the hairpin, Figge gets wide. Diaz should have the shot down. No, you're right, it was wide. They got that silver and black car side by side down the straightaway. Now, who's got the horsepower? Who has less drag? Who had the better shot off the hairpin? It looks like Diaz, but Wah will get the draft on him.
Pretty evenly matched.
Diaz is going to protect his line. He's going to stay in the middle of the racetrack, down into turn 1.
Oh, I thought maybe Wah overcooked it.
And off he goes, working hard to gain those positions back.
There's Diaz's crew. Boy, they've had some ups and downs already today.
Look at the nose, rubber on the nose of his car from that impact that he had with DeVellis down there in turn 1. Once again, Luis Diaz is saying, what do I have to do to get out of Long Beach? We heard him in the open say, no more crashes. One more time.
Not much in the way of downforce on that car either. Look at, I wonder if he knocked down those plates on his front wing, those upper elements. They're awfully flat. Calvin Fish.
We're down here with Doricart Racing. Alain Clarenval is the engineer on Luis Diaz. Turn 1 hasn't been kind to this young man this year, but how's the race car? Did it get damaged, get beat up at all?
No, the car is all fine. I think we're going to do a good race if we don't have any more problems.
They're pretty confident. They think they've got a strong race car, but he's got a battle on his hands out there, Bob.
That he does.
if we don't have any more problems. Long Beach, as we were saying for Luis, has not been nice to him. He's got clear racetrack in front of him. What he's going to try to do now is he's got to hunt down Joey Hand. And once again, Luis Diaz, he's an experienced competitor. They know Joey Hand has a problem and not a good race car. They're going to put his nose down, put it to the grindstone, and see if he can reel in Joey Hand in front of him.
That man we were just listening to, engineer Alain Clarenval, is back with the Doricott team for the first time since they won the former Indy Lights Championship with Oriol Servia back in '99. We'll be back. Coverage of the 30th anniversary season of the CART Toyota Atlantic Championship is being brought to you by Yokohama Tires. Back live in Long Beach, California, Bob Varsha, Brian Till, along with Calvin Fish. Excuse me, glad to have you with us as you look at our third place runner, Jonathan Macri in the NTN car, who is running 4.2 seconds behind race leader A.J. Allmendinger. Allmendinger, for his part, has opened a 3.3 second gap on the second place car. You just saw it go out of your screen, the yellow number 3 of Aaron Justice.
And there's the leader through fourth place right there. Justice doing a good job, but Macri was in a good position to hunt down Valiente at Monterey. He's been in this position of the hunter, and it's okay right now. Even though he's young, he's very mature. He's got 14 laps to go. He's going to keep hunting to see if he can't reel in Aaron Justice.
We are just past halfway, which means that A.J. Allmendinger has locked up the bonus point for leading the most laps in the race. As you take a look at Michael Valiente, who's had a pretty quiet race thus far, except for avoiding the spinning Ryan Dial in the incident that brought out our only yellow flag of the day. Calvin Fish.
We're down here at Lynx Racing. Steve Cameron up on the timing stand. Steve, seemed like you're gone for the car being really trimmed out again this weekend. Is it going to hurt Michael in the latter stages of the race?
Maybe not so much here. You know, the track seems to be building an awful lot of grip. So, you know, at Mexico, we did get a little bit of tire wear, but right now his times are staying stable. You know, Biggie's not catching him, so we just got to hang in there and see what happens at the end.
Right, they're still hoping for a podium out here, guys. They're hoping that Michael's experience will get him to the front of the pack by the end of the race.
Steve Cameron is a tremendously experienced, not only crew chief and team manager, but also a race car driver.
Oh, Danica Patrick. That's in the turn 1 area, I believe.
Look from the onboard. Yeah, you can see damage down here in the suspension. It's actually bent right there.
There's Bobby Rahal looking at the same pictures you were just watching. He raced Atlantics back in the days of K.K. Rosberg and Gilles Villeneuve and Danny Sullivan. Right now, his thoughts are with his driver, Danica Patrick, who has nosed it in hard. Here's another look. Oh.
I just got a little wide at turn 1 there. Probably carried a little too much speed. Couldn't get the car to the apex. You saw her lose the rear end. Right rear contacts the tire wall first, and then it slaps the car around in. Yeah, just a little hot in there. Right rear, slaps the car in.
Oh,
right
Diaz barely gets
God,
by.
Luis Diaz is going, can we just avoid turn 1 altogether here at Long Beach? It's not a good place.
Watch her
hands.
hands.
In there, in car. Gets loose. She tries to correct it. Here comes the contact, right rear, boom. Good job of letting go of the steering wheel. You saw her right at impact. She let go of the steering wheel, and that's important. She's out of the car. It's important to let go of that wheel. It spins in your hand on contact. You can break your thumbs and your wrist.
Simple Green Kart safety crew goes back to work once again. They've had a lot of experience with turn 1 here at Long Beach. There's the beautiful Queen Mary across the harbor. We'll be back in just a moment.